Muay Thai is also referred as the art of eight limbs. What makes this sport a very unique identity?
I think in striking, so only striking sport, if you consider, Muay Thai is like the highest striking point. So you can punch, you can elbow, you can knee, you can kick. So like with 8 parts you can hit. And MMA, obviously everything is allowed with the ground, but in striking sport, Muay Thai is one of the highest.
So how did you start practicing Muay Thai?
During my college days, I watched this movie called Ong Bak. So in that, Tony Jaa. In that I watched Muay Thai first. So that was something totally different. I wanted to go to the place where they taught the best, and then did my research and ended up learning.
So can you tell us the most challenging fight that you've encountered in your whole career?
So the challenging ones and toughest ones were obviously in the beginning.
And when we speak about weight loss and nutrition, what are the 5 superfoods which you would suggest somebody on the training? Welcoming you all to the Poster Show. In our today's episode, let us step into the fighting ring with a seasoned fighter and now a coach, Mr. Kaushik Boloor is going to share his experience with the art of Muay Thai. Muay Thai is also known as the art of eight limbs, and it is very famous in Thailand. So let us explore the art of Muay Thai and the hidden history with our guest. So, welcoming you.
Hi, thank you.
So, first, we would like quick insights about your childhood, early days, and how did it all begin?
My childhood days was typical. I think during back in my days, it was all about Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. I don't know if this generation knows them, but yeah, it used to be with the Bruce Lee movies and Jackie Chan movies. And then maybe my first movie I went to theater, I watched Bloodsport. Van Damme, he was there in it, and then Sylvester Stallone, of course, Rambo, and Rocky. And yeah, these were my childhood days. I enjoyed these kinds of movies, and finally I ended up doing something like that.
So, how did you start practicing Muay Thai?
During my college days, I watched this movie called Ong Bak. So in that, Tony Jaa. In that I watched Muay Thai first. So that was something totally different. I had seen only Kung Fu till then, or maybe like different kind, kickboxing and boxing. I used to follow boxing also. So first time I saw something different, that was Muay Thai, and then I loved it since then. And yeah, because of that, maybe I wanted to go to the place where they taught the best, and then did my research and ended up learning Muay Thai.
So, where did you get your training done from?
So what I did was I searched the internet those days, like the best gym in the world to learn this, and all the fingers pointed at Tiger Muay Thai that time at Phuket. So this like considered to be the best, and so I landed there to learn Muay Thai.
So, how was your experience in Tiger Muay Thai Institution?
Okay, so that was funny. So during that, in their website, it showed like beginners were welcome. I was thinking, okay, a beginner like me would be welcome there, and I was 100 kgs those days during my college days, because I was into athletics, but I think in college days we all stop. We get into just studies or not following fitness as much as when we were young. Like fitness in the sense just playing around. We reduced that. So I had gained a lot of weight, and then when I saw their website, beginners were welcome, and then I went there, and my jaws dropped. The whole street, everyone is in six pack. Ladies, gents, all are with six pack, and maybe I was only the unfit person when I went there. Even now, it's called the fittest street in the world. So if you do your research, it's the fittest street, because there's a lot of gyms in that one street, Shalong Street, and everyone, almost all are with six pack. And then when I reached there, I was like wondering, when will I be one of them? Yeah, it took me 3 months.
So, you had an amazing experience.
Yes.
How has that changed your life?
That changed my life drastically. So the thing is, everyone thinks, once you learn I mean, those who know these martial arts are supposed to be aggressive or rude. I don't know. Maybe that's portrayed because it's very aggressive sport. But it's just the other way around. It makes you calmer, and I've just become the opposite of what it's portraying. So you just become a monk outside.
So, can you tell us the most challenging fight that you've encountered in your whole career?
Okay. So the challenging ones and toughest ones were obviously in the beginning. So in the beginning is where you you face a lot of defeats and you meet all experienced people. So I had lot of tough fights only in the beginning, and maybe that helped me to become better very soon. And most of my opponents were all from Middle East mostly, and these were like really tough and ruthless fighters. And me that time being one of the first few Indians also, to practice abroad, and then Mangalore obviously I was the first one. And when I did that, I was telling my guy, these guys, whoever we fight with, they are our friends anyway later because we train together. And these guys from Middle East, so they used to tell me every house has a fighter in their area. And then I was like, oh, I'm the first one in my city. So they would be surprised. So it's like that. In their house, like, every house, there's a minimum one guy is a fighter.
Wow. So we are all still lacking towards
Oh,
that motivation from our house,
yeah.
Still, basically, the awareness of this sport is
Okay.
something that we all are lacking. So, what changed when you were fighting, or what was a thought because you go through wins and defeats? What's something that you actually think while beginning a fight or while ending a fight?
So what, like, we can't get our emotions, you know, overrun our thoughts, like, so you cannot get angry. Usually we think like, oh, you get angry, you punch their face and all that. So the game plan just goes all over the place. If you are angry, you just get tunnel vision and you'll be only seeing his head, which is like when you're fighting, it's just a small space, and that too they protect it. So if you are angry, you're just seeing his face and you want to knock his head off. So later you will learn you have to stay calm, and then you will see all the other openings, from leg to the head. There are so many other parts which you can capitalize and work, and then you'll implement that in your life also. Like, just don't get angry and do things and later regret what you did. So this makes you calmer and helps you um, do the right choices, right decisions.
So, how do you train yourself mentally and physically for a fight?
Okay. So, I think if you put your body through a tough physical process, your mind will follow. So it's people think I have to focus, I have to do things first, and then if I focus, then I can start working out. But I feel personally, according to my experience, you have to do the work, do the workout, and then your brain will get disciplined, and mentally you will follow later. It will become a habit. So usually do the hard work first.
So you also train students. So how do you teach them to balance the mental piece as well as the fights that they are supposed to? Not everybody goes for a professional. Some
Correct.
come for a journey. So how do you teach them or get them into that journey?
Correct. So what happens is most of them obviously would not want to fight. They just want to learn. So now it's very important when you're teaching also as a teacher to make it safe for them. So people who are not fighting, they need not go through brutal training and they need not get beaten up in their face. And many people do it wrong because they make them spar very hard, and that to these guys are never going to see the ring. They're never going to fight. But you're giving them so much trauma in a training, which is totally not necessary. And I have trained in the best gym in the world. And there itself, we go 30%. We go very light because we focus on technique. And we are not planning on giving each other concussions in training. So we focus so much on technique. We do it so well. And we train smart so that we are there again next day to train again and again. And because consistency over a long run, and you get better. But most of them, if they do it wrong, they just go hard and they're injured, and then they're not training again for quite some time. So I see people do that lot of mistake, whereas I, in my camp, I make sure everything goes and fighters are treated differently. So we will level up accordingly. So there's a lot of training programs where once he's ready, then we will increase the intensity, and whenever it's necessary, only they go little hard, and then again there's a cool down phase and all that. So
Right. So when it comes to adapting fighters for international training, how is it domestic? The difference between the international trainers as well as the domestic training that happens for Indians.
for the Indians,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So now, like if you're talking about the coaches and experience, India is uh, used to lack those days. Now it's okay; it's getting better because coaches themselves are going abroad and getting the right knowledge and skill, and then they're coming and teaching. So when you go outside, like say in Thailand, like the place where I learned, I would have up to 500 fighters in a class. So obviously there'll be beginners, intermediates, advanced, and fighters. So you will placed in that category, and in a day I would end up fighting at least 25 people, and these would be at least from 15 different countries. So you learn so much from each one, and you gain so much experience through actually doing that. Now when you train it in a small place and you just two people do it, you will just learn what other person is doing, because this is fight, you have to adapt. So everyone is doing their own thing, and you need to know how each one will behave. And after experiencing it, after learning with different people, different country, you will learn, okay, each one has a style, and in 1 2 3 seconds you will recognize what style that fighter is. So it will help you a lot when you train outside. I mean, outside in the sense where a lot of fighters are coming together, and then you learn more than you just in one place. You're just learning by yourself or like two people. But yeah, some people, at least that is better than nothing.
True, definitely. So for beginners, they start from the domestic level,
Yes.
learn the skill, and
Skill,
then,
and then you
try and
progress.
experiment to progress. Right, that's good. And what about the misconceptions that you often encounter when the word Muay Thai actually comes?
Yeah. So first thing is people are not aware. Okay, so either they'll call it karate or something like that. So that is the common thing. Those who are not aware, and the other thing is those who are aware, they think we are psychopaths. Just want violence and it's too brutal and you want to hit people. So these are the common misconceptions we go through. Yeah, and then the problem is now wrong people are teaching it also. So then again, the misconceptions are holding true, because the way they teach people also, people will think, oh, that is too brutal the way they treat. So it's very important you're training under a right person, and that person is doing the right thing. But now the knowledge and everything is available for people to access, so people can make the right choices and do a lot of research themselves before they get into this.
True. That's a blessing of internet
Yeah,
that people
internet.
have today. True. What's the biggest lesson that you've learned in your journey? And it's been how many years that you've been into this journey?
I got into this after my engineering, usually. Like what happens back in my days, parents would tell, after your degree, you do whatever you want. So the same thing I did. So after engineering, then I packed my bags and I went to learn martial arts. So till then, I had no martial arts background. So when I went, oh, that's also another interesting story, because like I said, I read in a website, beginners are welcome. So when I went, I was actually a beginner. And then I see in my class, all are with six pack, all are fit, and all have just landed also. Most of them just came for their first class. I'm like, how are they beginners? Then I got to know they are beginners in Muay Thai. So they are some kind of champions in boxing or wrestling or something. They are all fighters. And maybe I was the only beginner. And I had to spar with these guys the very first day. And yeah, maybe that helped me pick up very fast, because first day only I was put against the toughest guys, most brutal guys. And yeah, that way it helped me pick up very fast. I lost the question again. So you asked me?
The biggest lesson that you learned in your journey?
In the journey, that what I learned in that was hard work. You just do your thing, keep doing it, and someday it will reward you. Usually what happens is people look for reward first, and they hope something to come out of whatever they do, I think it's always better to enjoy your journey than to look for the result and focus only on the result. So when I started this, I never thought I would make a career out of it or I would achieve somewhere. I just wanted to do it for myself and just be happy. And then I think that way I enjoyed the process. So I meet many people who already come to me and they want to be a champ. So they're like, and they have no clue. They don't know ABCD of this, and then they're like, I want to be there. It's good to have that ambition, but I think you're putting unnecessary pressure on yourself, and instead of enjoying the journey, you will just be stressed out throughout, and maybe you will not progress as how you're supposed to progress.
So that relates to a very important proverb that's follow your passion and everything else will follow
Yeah,
you.
true.
Because when you follow what you live for,
Yeah,
automatically things will follow thereafter.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
So Muta is also referred as the art of eight limbs. What makes this sport a very unique identity?
So I think in striking, so only striking sport, if you consider, Muay Thai is like the highest striking point. So you can punch, you can elbow, you can knee, you can kick. So like with 8 parts you can hit. So in any other sport, there's not so much. See, boxing only you punch, and kickboxing you punch and kick. So sometimes they might let you knee, but in Muay Thai they'll let you slice with the elbows, so it cuts people open. So usually they don't want all that cut, so that's why they. And MMA obviously everything is allowed with the ground, but in striking sport, Muay Thai is one of the highest where they let you do all these things. And there's like a Cambodian version, Laos version of Lethway where you can smash your head also. You can headbutt. So it's art of 9 limbs.
Oh my God. Okay. Right. So what do you think about other martial arts?
Okay, in my journey, even that time I wanted to learn the most dangerous one, and I did all the research. Okay, Muay Thai was defeating everything, and so I ended up picking Muay Thai first. Uh, Now, because I didn't have a base, so now if it's a new fighter or if it's a kid, I would make them getting them into gymnastics and wrestling first, because that will have a very good foundation, and then you can come to other things. But since I didn't have, so I chose the striking part, and I got cocky at first, like, because I thought no one can defeat me because I know how to punch, and I was really good at it. So I had all the right to be cocky. But later, then I realized once I was on the ground, I didn't know what to do. I had no clue, because in one of my fights, that's what happened. When I entered MMA, you had to know how to grapple, you know to how to choke and how to submit people. So then I met someone who was a very good grappler, and then he put me down, and then I lost my maybe first fight through a ground game, through submission. So that's when I realized, okay, I'm not complete. And because the game was in a rule, like, rule set, so I can't use illegal moves. Maybe if it's a street fight, you can still survive with just knowing the striking. But no, you will learn everything. You learn other martial arts. So your respect to other martial arts improves. So you try respecting other things, like, you respect a wrestler, you respect a jiu-jitsu guy. So you start respecting other martial artists also.
That's a good thing. You learn with experience and
Yes.
you actually respect the whole field.
Yes.
That was that, right. So, how do you take Muay Thai now? Is it just your fitness routine or is it become a way of your life?
Huh. So, what happened to me was, before doing the Muay Thai, I actually thought about preparing my body for Muay Thai. So I spent 6 months in the gym, and always I wanted six pack. Before, always wanted six pack, and worked out in the gym, lifted all the weights and did all that uh, outside in cardio. And then I almost had 4 training sessions in a day to prepare myself to go to Thailand. So that I did for around 6 months, and I didn't see anything, no six pack, nothing. And once I reached Thailand, I forgot about everything else. Like I was least bothered about how will I have six pack or how to look good. I never bothered. So usually what happens is your gym is filled with mirrors, and we are only focusing on mirror muscles. Whatever looks good, you'll see the mirror and pump yourself. There in a tent, it's open area, it's just hot, and no mirror. You are just working out, and the last thing I thought about was, how I look, because I did do it to how I look. And after 3 months, when I was taking shower, is where I noticed my six pack. I was like, oh, six pack.
Finally.
I got six pack. Until then, I didn't even care. And I didn't even know I got six pack till then. So I was 100 kgs, 97 to be accurate. By the time it was 2.5 months, I was 70.
Wow.
And last thing I was thinking about, is seeing my six pack or this. I was just focusing on learning Muay Thai. And that journey, I got my dream of being fit and staying fit. So I can say now that has become a way of life now.
Right. So how do you see the rise of MMA actually affecting Muay Thai and overall taking its place also?
Okay. So now MMA is you can say it's like fastest growing sport in the world, because MMA is gaining popularity. So now MMA is nothing but mixed martial arts. So what happened is every martial arts, they used to think they are the best. All martial artists used to think a boxer will think he is the best. He can defeat all the other guys. A wrestler will think he is the best. So to end this debate, they bought all the champions and they made a cage and they told no rules. You just fight. We will see which martial arts will win. And that's how MMA was born. Now there was no rule. Now finally, to keep people safe, they've added certain rules so that you don't die in the ring. So, and now what will happen is you don't have to know all the martial arts. So you get to pick the best. And MMA is like encyclopedia of martial arts, you can say. So we pick the best of everything. And if you want to pick the best of striking, you will obviously go for boxing and Muay Thai. If you want the best punches, you'll be boxing, and then Muay Thai has boxing and kickboxing and everything. So Muay Thai is like the main pillar, one of the main pillar while striking. So that's why Muay Thai is growing in popularity because of MMA. So if you want to do MMA, your striking should be good, and for striking to be good, Muay Thai should be good.
So it's the base for
Base striking. So for wrestling is there, and then jiu-jitsu is there, and so for striking you can do boxing and Muay Thai. For holding them and putting them down, judo, and then keeping them down, wrestling, and finishing them on the ground, jiu-jitsu.
Oh my God! For one sport, you
Yeah,
have to
you need
work
to
on
know
five
all.
skills.
Minimum
Okay.
5.
Right. So how do you see the sport going in the next 5 years in India?
In the world, like I said, it's fastest growing sport. Like the boxing had time to establish because it's like very very old compared to MMA. So MMA is just coming up, and now in India, past few years we have good promotions like Tiger Shroff and his family, Aisha Shroff mom and Krishna Shroff and Jackie Shroff. They are all promoting this sport. They have taken it, and so they have this promotion called Matrix Fight Night. So they are pouring in all the effort and money and trying to bring the sport up for India and creating Indian fighters. So I'm lucky to work with them also, and I'm getting to see how. So back in my day, nothing was there. We spent money, we got beaten up, and just for our fun. Now people are getting taken care. They're taken care of. Fighters are sponsored to go work out. This association sponsors them to train in abroad and get the best coaching and all that. So it's growing very well. Uh, hopefully, hopefully it will pick up. Like, see, in general, people just love to watch people fight. Okay, that's in our blood. So we like, I don't know, it's the genes. So now you see in the street, if someone is fighting, you'll see all the people are just watching. Okay, they want to watch.
True.
So I hope that thing comes where, people are watching this like cricket, in India, and so the popularity will gain, and then people will have the right motivation to pick this up.
Yeah.
Pick this up as a career.
So the Matrix Institute, which
Yeah,
is
Matrix
there,
Fight.
yeah, it is in the Taiwan cities, or how should one apply for it
The
if he's
the
interested?
Tiger Muay Thai you're talking about,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
we are. Yeah, so they that camp you can go, you can pay weekly or monthly, and then depends what you want to do. Now it's a full-fledged gym, so you have CrossFit also, and then you have MMA, Jiu-Jitsu, everything. It's everything, and so you can totally go there and enroll yourself, and don't have to worry because beginners are welcome now. unlike those days. Beginners were welcome, but still all were fit. And now you will find many beginners, and they are in beginner section. They don't have to do anything hardcore, and they'll slowly progress to intermediate, advanced, and then like that.
And how many months or years does this training take?
So that is depending on you. So see, now everyone is different. So you are passionate about something, you would have achieved success in that very soon compared to others. So it implies like same thing implies. So you are passionate in events and all that. So you would have been best in that in a short duration. So now if I am driven for this, then I will be best in this very fast. So like I said, I had no martial arts background, and I learned very fast, and then I was one of the best in India. And then all my colleagues were having base of martial arts, because their dad was into martial arts and they started from childhood, and I was only noob. So like that. So it depends on your passion and how much driven you are. I learned very fast.
So, what are some tips or key tips which takes to master the art of the 8 art limbs or the 9 art limbs?
No, Muay Thai, no? So 8 art,
yeah.
that is late.
Yeah.
So now tips, I would say you just have to work hard and be disciplined. So what happens is people nowadays, they want everything too fast. Okay, like fast food. They want everything too fast, and it's not like where you can decide today and 2 months you will be good at it. uh, Even your body takes time to prepare. You need to kick something 10,000 times before your shin is conditioned. And these guys are not even prepared in 2-3 months, and they expect to get into a ring. They will get broken. Their bones will break. Everything will break because nothing is ready yet. So your bones have to have these microfractures, and then it has to calcify, become dense, and so many things process involved, even physically. And then mentally also you have to toughen up. So it's a long and grueling process. You need to be patient, and ultimately it will reward you. It will reward you. So the progression curve is like this, and then finally when time is right, it will go like this. So now people want like this, but you'll break here.
That's true. So it's like something like a crash that
Yeah.
never works.
Never
So
works. So you
there
never.
is no shortcut.
Yeah, there's no shortcut.
Yeah. So what role does music play during the fights?
Huh. So that the music they play, it's nice when you are in that ambience. It gives you goosebumps. So now it creates the atmosphere for them, and then it helps them with the rhythm also. The fighters with the rhythm, and it's been traditional, so it's always been there. And then you will see this music pacing up. So the round one it starts slow, the round two slightly picks up, round three, and the round four, five, they go hard. And the fighters are also, the tempo is hard. They're hitting hard. They're fighting hard. So it's all like goosebump moments. You have to that ambience. You have to be there and experience it.
So, what is the speciality of all the training camps which happens in Thailand? Because the Thailand trainings are ranked as the #1 in the world.
Yeah.
What's so special in there?
Okay. See, first of all, Muay Thai is theirs. Okay, and thing is, it was not visible to the world till recently. It was just hidden. I think US people were the ones to start. One person went out and started teaching, and then this sport came into limelight. Or as these people were just doing it by themselves, hardcore fighting, and it was like that. And finally now it's come out everywhere. So everyone who is going out, learning and going out and teaching, and then they are training people. But if you want to experience the culture, live the culture, you have to go to the motherland. You have to go to the best place in the world, stay there, experience the culture, watch the fights with your trainer, with your masters, because now my masters, I was sitting with them, and then because they were fighting, and then that vibe is totally different. You have to be there to experience. So if you have no access to that, obviously you are learning with your coach who's come out and he has learned and coming out. That's okay, fine. But once in your life, you have to do this. You have to go to the motherland and learn.
They say no, the essence of everything is it in its own motherland.
Yeah.
So there's some
Correct.
magic in there.
Yeah. So it's very funny now when I find, people are like, this is the best training camp and all that. Like nothing can be outside Thailand. So it has to be in Thailand because it is from Thailand. So
True.
if it's like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, yeah, now it's refined in Brazil. Obviously, Jiu-Jitsu is there in Japan, so they do it more in a technical way. But yeah, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the hub is in uh, Brazil, so
Brazil.
you go learn there to get better. So same way, Muay Thai means it's Thailand, nothing else. You go to Thailand and you learn.
Right. So how do you see the sport coming into Olympics soon?
Huh. So there are rumors that it's getting into Olympics. Now, only thing that is, that bothers us is like, I hope they don't water it down. So I hope they don't put the helmets and all the guards. So that it's not part of Muay Thai. Maybe for kids when you're starting. But we want it as brutal and violent as, nothing should be safety. It's not saving you anything. So, yeah, but since Olympics, they want to save everything and make it more careful. I think they might do that, but I hope they don't. I don't know. Like, hope it comes and remains like the true Muay Thai it is. How the fighters are fighting.
The essence
Yeah, the
remains.
essence remain. Don't water it down and don't pad people up.
Right. So, what are the basic requirements, as we say, now if you want to start a kids training, what are the basic requirements for a kid to get into this?
Oh yeah, for a kid. See now, what happened in Thailand was kids are the people who do Muay Thai, who used to do Muay Thai. These were from poor family. So rich people don't go and fight. They don't get beaten up. So poor people who can't afford a living, so they used to train hard, and then they make a living through fighting. So every 2 weeks they fight so that they make a living. And now if their parents are not disciplined and they're after retiring also, let's say, so they retire very fast because the training is very brutal on your body and they have not followed science, so they are deteriorating very fast and they retire by 30. They are old and done. By 25 only you can say they have already done 400 fights and their body can't take anymore and they're retired. Now to sustain, to take care of the family, they start teaching. And so teaching makes okay somewhat money, but the major money comes from the fight. So what happens is they put their kids into fighting. So these kids start very young, maybe 7 years, 8 years. They start fighting and earning for their parents. So these Thailand kids are put in the fight in that young age. So now what happens for us? We are too comfortable here. Our parents are like, they are well to do and they don't want anything hard for their kids. And now that just made our kids too soft. There's no drive and motivation, and even parents are soft. So I doubt if we'll ever reach that kind of training. But now some people are smart. So, some doctors whom I know, so especially, and they want their kids to learn the hard way, and so they're trying their best to do it in the right way. So they're making they're focusing their kids, and because now it's too much distractions. Instagram is there and kids are just watching so many things, and like last thing they're thinking about is forget training. They're thinking about not they're not even thinking about going out and playing.
Exactly. That's the sedentary lifestyle that we
Yeah.
see for kids these days. True. So, what is the importance of diet?
No, diet. So, diet is a very important. So, how can I say? It's like fuel to your body. So now, if you are a Ferrari car or like a sports car or sports bike, you would want to put the right fuel into it, like that proper premium fuel, whatever. You can't put the normal fuel. So same, if you want to treat your body like that, like an elite machine, you want to fuel it with the elite food source, like because that only breaks down and becomes your fuel. So for this sport, now we are least bothered about like I said, appearance. We are only thinking about performance. So all our food will be nutritious and high energy giving food. And then because of the training, the physical aspect, you look good because of that, you get your result because of that. So we are not focusing on cutting weight, and we are not focusing, I mean, obviously for the fight we have to cut weight, but rest of the time we are only fueling the right way. We are not doing that too restrictive diets and all that. We're eating everything that's healthy, home cooked food.
Right. And how do you have some tips before starting the fight? You mentioned about the cutting phase. So how does that happen, and how much time should a fighter start prior the fighting?
So, see, weight cut, it's like, I would say it's harder than the fight. Okay, so usually people end up cutting almost 15 to 20 kgs in 1 month. Now, I myself have made weight. I lost 15 kgs in 20 days for my fight. I walk around 86 and I fight at 70. Okay, so that I had to cut in 20 days when I had to go to Las Vegas and like when other fights and it's a very grueling and hard process. I would not recommend everyone to cut that much. See, now I could say some of the fights that I lost was because of that weight cut. I was too weak to recover after that. In my normal weight, I can defeat a guy who is 20 kgs heavier than me. So
Yeah.
I feel like that because I have all that strength. So I would rather not recommend people to cut weight at the very end and plan it properly, lose it gradually, and then remain somewhere close where your maximum strength still lies. Okay, no, don't cut too much and shrink yourself so much. This is through my experience.
Hmm. So how do you manage the training burnouts?
Oh, this is very important. So, like I said, all the beginners, they just think about workout, workout, workout. Always, they're thinking 24/7. We are also working out. Uh, what happens is your body will need break. So, if you don't take break, it will force you to take break. It will shut down. Okay, so you worked out 3 4 days, and then not 3 4, like 1 week, 2 week, and you have not taken any break, and you're like weekends also you're working out, you're pushing yourself too much, body will shut down. You will either, if you have not done your mobility and not done foam rolling, and you will tear something, or you will just collapse. You'll fall sick, and your immunity will be low, and you'll get infection, and then your training is hampered anyway. It's gone. So you have to have a proper training plan, proper programming, proper progression. So that's why coach is also important. Someone who's experienced in all this is important. You need to sleep well, you need to eat well, proper recovery. And these things, which is the backbone of your training, people ignore. And that's why they'll never progress also. So you will see many people have the drive and they want to do, they train a lot and they're burnt out. So, and they don't see the progress, and they train a lot, boom, collapse. They are gone because they got injured, or they could not recover, they fell sick. Then again they'll train a lot, then again gone. So rather someone who's training with plan, you have a plan, week one prep, body prep and all that, everything will happen, and then you progress, then you will have a fight week, and then again you deload. So 1 week you don't do anything, or just train 30%. So their body and joints, everything recover. And then again you start again with the slow progression.
So there's a pre-fight phase and there
Yeah,
is a
yeah. There's a lot
post-fight.
of science to it. It's like you build, and you have to be in your peak to fight. So, so you build it like there's a 3 month camp or a 2 month camp if you have. You build it accordingly where you are at your peak when you're fighting, and then you don't train for some time, recover, and then again you start your next camp.
So as a fighter, how do you identify each one's unique style?
Okay, so everyone has their own, uh, you know, plus points. Like now, let's because we are talking about Muay Thai, I'll stick to the Muay Thai aspects of it, because MMA again it's a complete different sport. So now in Muay Thai, some are good punchers. They love to punch, so they'll be good at punching, boxing, and some are very good at elbow. It's close range. They'll come and then just slice you, and they're good at elbow. And then some are good at knees, so they'll come closer and then hit you with the knees. And some are good with the kicks, hard kickers. And then some are very good technicians. They have good technique and then moving around. So you will have a style like that. So your coach will know what kind you are, and then they'll prepare you exactly. And then this is your thing to learn about your other fighter also, your opponent also, what kind of fighter he is, so that you know how to defend yourself and stay safe from such fighters. Because everyone has their own preference, the way they fight.
Fight, yeah. And which fight has been the most memorable one for you?
To watch, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, oh, to watch when I was with my coaches, we used to go and watch. Uh, so all these fights are memorable. It's very hard to choose because we are sitting in the front row, and they are blood and sweat is all over your face, and people are punching hard, and it's priceless. This experience is priceless and most memorable. And the betting is legal in Thailand, so it's like almost like a cockfight, and all people are screaming bets from here, putting money. It's so much fun. So all the fights were entertaining, and I just loved it. What I could say stood out for me was one of my trainers was fighting that day, and he was totally out of shape. Okay, he was fat and out of shape, and I was seeing him drinking Coca Cola and all that. So I used to think, what kind of trainer is this guy? How is a trainer? And then he was supposed to fight, and his opponent is a Thai guy only. He's also a Thai guy, and his opponent is upcoming champion with six pack and like focus. This guy is retired in his 40s, and this kid is early 20s. Upcoming champion. So now, obviously, it looked like a very obvious result. This guy will beat this old man, okay, and I'm seeing him not even disciplined. And that fight, my coach sitting next to me, I told this to my coach, like, coach, he'll get beaten up. Why he wants to die? Why is he going to fight now? And then my coach is like, you wait and watch. Okay. I'm like, what can he do? Because even that guy is a champ. And then this old man beats the hell out of this guy. Okay? Properly, and it was such an amazing. I didn't expect that. Then he's telling me he was a champ like him before, and now after some time, he's lost his body and all because of that. Because he's just teaching now, and not focusing on staying. Obviously, he's retired. That was maybe one of the most unexpected and entertaining fight for me to see. I had a newfound respect to all my retired coaches after that. Even though they don't look that, but they can beat beat people up.
So once a player is always a
Yeah,
player.
true.
Right. So what's the most underrated technique that you've seen?
In Muay Thai, is
Yeah.
it? Yeah. So people use less, and which is like the best. I would say teep. Teep is like a front kick, push kick. That I don't see people use only, because that is the answer for almost all. Like if someone comes to punch, you can teep them. If someone comes to elbow, you can teep them. Someone wants to kick you, you can teep them. It's the answer for everything. Okay, so and I don't see people using it. Another thing is checking the kicks. So if someone is kicking, people don't check, don't block. So these two things, it annoys me, and people don't do it often.
Right. And how do you take care of the aggression that you have during the fight?
So now, while fighting, you cannot be angry. So that's like the thing I think you will learn over the process. So initially, when you start, when someone hits you, you will be angry and you want to take their head off. And that's when you learn, you are exposed and you're not saving yourself, and you can't see, you just can see the face, and you want to just punch their head off. So later, after you learn a lot and get beaten up, and then you'll learn, okay, being angry is not the solution. And thing is, if you are angry, your heart rate increases, and there's too much adrenaline already in the fight, and then you'll get tired also very soon. So you have to remain calm and composed, and then you'll get a lot of ideas. You can see everything in slow mo when your opponent is doing. But if you're angry, everything is fast, and you just have tunnel vision. And so you should not lose your temper, and you will be a better fighter that way.
So how do you stay motivated during the training? Because it's a very tough one. So how do you stay motivated to have a career or a long-term phase into that?
Correct. So this one I learned later, because now when you use science, like one of the coaches, and I read a lot of books also, so I've read it there. So 1/3 method. See, 1/3 of your time you are feeling the best. Okay, 1/3 of the time you will be like full power and like full training. 1/3 of the time you're okay. You're in the middle. And 1/3 of the time you feel like you can't do anything. Your worst days. So when you see like that, say out of 10 days, only 3 days is where you feel great. Okay. Only 3 days is where you feel like you can work out, because others are okay and worse. So if you know this, you will be easy and forgiving on yourself. Because out of 10 days, you're always, so the rest of the days, you're not motivated. You just have to show up. Show up to the place and do less. So don't have to do too much also. Just show up and do less. Sometimes you don't feel like doing, don't do anything, just be there. You learn something like that. So if you see Michael Phelps also, he said, no, in to prepare, 5 years he trained non-stop, and even on off days, he just went there and then just did something. So I would also say like, so as long as you remember this, I think this thing helped me. Whenever I'm off, I'll remember, okay, this is one of those off days.
Right. And what keeps you focused and motivated after achieving all the success, and you have people around you who are actually now trying to get your attention and everything? So, how do you stay grounded for that time?
So yeah, this one, now if you have taken shortcut and got to fame through cheating or using shortcut methods, and you just earned the fame by fluke, then you will not be grounded. You will be cocky, you will act like you know it all, you will do things. If you have worked hard, if you have struggled, if you have trained hard, you're naturally, you will be grounded. So a person who knows everything will not, you will not know that this person knows everything and he's good. So they will not act like that. So they will be very grounded and they'll be very nice, and then they'll be very gentle and all that. So if you see someone yap yap, and so you will know they don't know much.
That's always the difference between a self-made billionaire and
Yeah,
somebody who is just inherited
correct.
somewhere.
Yeah,
True,
true.
right?
Like that.
Right, right. So, what is the most important of having a corner during the fight?
Okay. So corner man is very important. So why? Because while you're fighting, you will miss out on a lot of things, because you're just seeing and you're thinking one thing. Now your corner, it could be a coach. They can see from outside so many perspectives. They can see things so many. It's like while you're driving, you need a navigator in a rally car, so he will tell you like what to do, how to drive where. So it's something like that, because when you're fighting, we are just too much adrenaline, heart is pumping, and we just want to punch someone and hit someone, and we are seeing very less things. A corner sees many things. He can see so many openings from here, and he'll give you advice, and then you will have trained for it many times, and then he will help you do that better. So it's very important to have a right corner man.
So, how has been the connection between Muay Thai and weight loss transformation? Because these days people are using the art for weight loss transformation.
Yeah. So, like I said, if you start with a sport, so Muay Thai is a sport. So any sport will help you lose weight and stay fit. So when you're getting into Muay Thai, see, uh, so Muay Thai is a sport, football is a sport, cricket is a sport. So what happens is, one, only there's a risk in that. When you do a sport for weight loss, make sure you are an athlete first. So in my camp, what I do is I make sure everyone becomes an athlete, functionally fit, before they get into a sport, so that they don't get hurt in the sport. So now when people want to do Muay Thai to lose weight and they are not fit, okay, they are doing a sport to lose weight, they will get hurt. So it is a good thing. You will lose weight doing Muay Thai, but be prepared to do Muay Thai. So you have to be functionally fit. You do not uh, ignore basic strengthening of your body parts and all that. So that comes with the Muay Thai anyway. So we give them push-ups, we give them squats. So basic strengthening, everything is there. So ultimately, we make you a good athlete. To do good Muay Thai is where you see results.
True.
You will.
And when we speak about weight loss and nutrition, what are the 5 superfoods which you would suggest somebody on the training or in general for lifestyle?
Okay. So superfoods. See, first thing first, most people they ignore or not have is green leafy veggies. Okay. So first thing you have to implement in your diet is green leaves. Majority, 50% of the food, if it is green leafy veggies, you are sorted. Next is carbs. So people have demonized carbs now. So, carbs, no, you can't have carbs. But carbs is your brain food and it's main source of energy. You need carb when you train so hard. So don't cut carbs. So because of bodybuilders, they are cutting for to show, and that's why their diet has become popular now, and everyone's thinking like that you should do. But you cannot live like that on a long run. Cutting carbs is very dangerous for you. So, and then again, depends on what, like every person is different. So, depends on his health situation also. If your doctor has told you, then don't do because your underlying conditions. Okay. But in general, carb is very important for you. So, have some complex carbs. Our boiled rice is good for us because we are from this region. So, you eat your boiled rice, eat green leaves, veggies. Protein is very important. So, you should have a good source of protein. So, since omega is important, you have good fish. Seafood is there for us. So fish is there, chicken is there. You eat a lot of protein because your building block is this. After you work out, you broken down all the muscles, and then to repair it, you need protein. So have a lot of protein, and see there 3 over. Then fat is needed. So you should have the right kind of fat. So it will come. Usually it's in the protein only. Say if you have mutton or if you have chicken, with that fat is the healthy fat you will get. So healthy fat, it will come with your nuts and all that you can have. And fibers, fibers. There's veggies and fruits. So if you're craving for junk or sweet, I would suggest you go eat dates, rich in fiber, and this will satiate you, like, all these things. And fruits, have fruits. So people have demonized fruits also, don't have too much fruits.
Yeah. And how many dates do you recommend a day?
I eat a lot.
True, because you are into
Yeah,
training.
so
Right.
you can eat, I don't know how many quantity, but I
Mm.
think,
Mm.
say if the food is natural, eat how much ever you want, just stay fit,
Mm.
move. So now some people are active couch potatoes.
Mm.
So what is active couch potato is like, they just work out for half an hour, then rest of the day they sit. So that is worse again, because that is not going to compensate. I would feel like, you just walk around, do many things like, standing up, walk around and all that, and stay active throughout the day. And then you can eat natural food how much ever you want. Don't restrict too much. So I would suggest people not to cut a lot because you need the fuel to work out. And I feel your body will start rejecting unwanted and unhealthy food by itself. So, if people come to me recommending good nutrition, how to start, I will ask them to start training first, work out first, and then see. Especially people come to me asking they want to quit drinking. Many people want to quit drinking and quit smoking. So then they'll be like, after I quit, I will start working out. Once I start quit. So that's never gonna happen. You're never gonna quit. And so what I do is I make them work out first. So I've seen so many results. It happens is like your brain starts rejecting this. You don't crave to drink, you don't crave to smoke once you start working out. So never think like, okay, once I start smoking or drinking, then I will start workout. You start your workout and then your body will do the magic on its own. Even with nutrition, you will start craving for the right kind of fuel. Your brain will make sure you eat the right kind of fuel. When you force yourself to stop, then you will put on again.
Right. And how do you see women embracing Muay Thai in India?
Women. So, see, first of all, for guys only, it's like a big deal. Muay Thai is a new thing, and like none of your, I mean, your parents would not want you to get into a ring and get beaten up for nothing. So I think if the prize money is there, like now how Neeraj Chopra won Olympics, and then suddenly people know about javelin. Till then, who thought about javelin? Nobody knew javelin, right? So only people are focusing on sending them to cricket. So if there is, so and the problem in India is once you achieve something, then they will recognize it. So now to it's very hard for people to achieve something if there is no motivation. See, in abroad, when I went to fight, the Sheikh of Bahrain was there with this fighter. Okay, the king only was. And that kind of motivation that country is giving. Whereas our country didn't even know we went. So that time, though MMA only what no clue. So and everything is taken care of. They don't have to worry. Now, if you want to learn as a fighter, luckily my dad and mom were well to do, and I could support my training. I could go out and like, but people can't afford that kind of training where you can go out and learn this thing. And then there is no reward also for that. And so if the government, like, everything is fine, everything is fixed, and people learn, hopefully there's good reward, and then more women also will get into this. Why not? They will get it. They are tougher actually. They feel less pain. I've seen good fights, women fighting in Thailand, and they're not getting even hurt. Men get hurt. Maybe they have better pain tolerance. So I've seen really good fights there, and hopefully, yeah, women in India pick up. I've seen couple of fighters from India now. They're doing good. So yeah, I mean, but it's very less, very less. I hope a lot more come. But like I said, they should be taken care of, and they should have the right motivation to do it. So when they choose this career, they should not worry about anything else, because this is a sport and you have to invest your time and focus on it. You can't juggle so many things.
And what's one message you'll give to the world about Muay Thai and how you want it to be in the future?
Oh, okay. So I think everyone should try Muay Thai. Everyone should go to Thailand and try Muay Thai. You have to go and learn there. And I think your life will change after that. And do not be afraid, like, "Oh, I'm not physically fit to do this." Uh, get into it, dive first, and then you will reap the rewards. Everything will change for you. You will get better. Your fitness goals will get better, and everything will get better. Do not be afraid, but do your research. Go to the right place, because that is very important. Do your research. Go to the right place and do it, and then doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter your gender, doesn't matter your current fitness level. Just get into it. Learn from the right person, learn from the right way, and then you will see all the transformation. Whatever physical transformation you need, it will come. Whatever mental transformation you need, it will come. Everything will fall in place once you do it. Because I have experience. Do hard things. Not only Muay Thai, run marathon, do triathlon, run ultra, but do hard things in
Right.
life.
And that's a wrap for today's conversation on Muay Thai. From understanding its cultural roots to its importance in building personal and mental strength, we now know why Muay Thai continues to inspire millions of lives. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, don't forget to share this episode with a fellow enthusiast. Keep growing, keep learning, and stay in the fight. Bye bye.